Okay, for the record, this was position 23, State of Georgia versus Dana Maurice Dotson. Mr. Dotson is charged in warrant number 2022 WA 05818 with committing the offense of public indecency, indecent exposure. He's here in court. He's being represented by Mr. Little, who's also present. The state is being represented by, is it going to be you, Miss Belle? Or...
Yes, Judge, that's me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Would you please swear in your witness and present your case?
Yes, Judge. Officer, please raise your right hand. Do you swear you should tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please state your name for the record.
Arjit Singh,
How are you employed?
City of Johnsboro.
And were you employed on the 31st of March, 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you go to the location of 8140 Tara Boulevard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and please tell us the facts of Mr. Dotson charged with public indecency.
I was at the QT already. The 8140 is the QT. I was doing security. While I was there, I observed Mr. Dotson on the front of the QT on the right side door. If you're looking at it, he was in that front door and he was moving his arm like at a fast pace to make me think he was masturbating, but that's not what he was doing, because I turned my car around to see clearly what he was doing, because I was about to leave as I was seeing this with his fast hand moments. And that's when I saw between his legs there was liquid following down, and that's when I realized he was urinating. And when I went to him, I put him into handcuffs right away and asked him for his name. He told me Dotson, and he told me a birthday, and he wasn't coming back on my system. And then I took him to the jail. The jail was they knew who he was, and they were able to identify him for me. And I charged him with public indecency for peeing on the front of the QT. He was peeing onto their building.
Okay. And was he visible to people in plain view?
Yeah.
No further questions.
Mr. Little?
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Singh, did anybody report Mr. Dotson to you?
No.
So it's you personally observed him
Yeah.
in the building?
Yeah.
Did you speak to any witnesses on scene to ask them what they had observed?
No, because I had observed him, and I turned my camera on, my dash camera, to show it as he was still doing it, because my car was at angle, and when I saw what he was doing, I backed it up to get that angle out on him.
So you have a recording of him?
Kind of, but it's like, this is back though, you know.
Okay. Is that the angle that you saw him from the back?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's facing a like a wall like this, and he's facing the corner, and there's like, you know, like a L-shaped corner. He's peeing right on that, and his legs were spread apart. So between his legs, you see liquid falling.
So is there like a window in front of him or anything?
He could look
a corner into which he's allegedly urinating.
If I'm not wrong, there is a window that he can look inside, and that's why I believe he was masturbating originally, but it was not that until I saw the liquid.
Okay. But you don't know if anybody from inside the building was able to see his penis?
No.
Okay. Did you see Mr. Dotson's penis?
No.
Okay. Those are the questions I have at this time.
Any follow-up?
No, Judge, I do not.
May Officer Singh be excused?
Yes, he can be.
Thank you, Officer Singh. You're excused, sir.
Thank you.
Any argument, or are you presenting any evidence, Mr. Little?
No evidence, Your Honor, just argument.
Okay.
Judge, I'm just going to submit on the evidence.
Okay. What's your argument, Mr. Little?
Your Honor, Mr. Dotson is charged under 1668. That's the public indecency statute, OCGA 16-6-8. That statute says that a person commits the offense of public indecency when he or she performs any of the following acts in a public place. 1, an act of sexual intercourse. 2, a lewd exposure of the sexual organs. 3, a lewd appearance in a state of partial or complete nudity. Or 4, a lewd caress or indecent fondling of the body part of another person. Officer Singh tells us that he observed my client urinating on the building, but he also didn't speak to any witnesses that say they saw any exposed part of Mr. Dodson's body. And Officer Singh himself did not see any exposed part of Mr. Dodson's body. There's not an allegation that he was doing anything sexually, just that he was urinating. So I would argue that it may be gross, but it doesn't rise to the level of public indecency, which requires that there actually be exposure of his sexual organs. And if nobody saw his sexual organs, they weren't exposed. You know, there's no way that we don't know that he was completely covered from public view while he urinated. And without evidence to show that he was, I would argue the state hasn't met their burden of probable cause in this case, Your Honor.
The evidence, as I heard it, is that he was in the front or the, I guess, the corner of the QT, and he was observed urinating. I think it's safe to infer that he had to expose himself to urinate. So I'm going to bind this over to the State Court of Clayton County as charged. Okay. All right. While we're still waiting to find this person, some of these other officers, are you able to find Mr. Barge?
Yes, sir, we found him. He's on the way now.
So you did locate him?
Yes, sir, we did. We did.
Okay.
No,
Officer,
that's it, yeah.
it says Samsung SM. You identified yourself earlier. You're Mr. Was it
Stanfield.
Stanfield? Yes.
Yes, as well.
All right. And thought you were towards the end. What case are you here on?
Stan Yan.
Okay. We'll do that person next. I think.
And Judge, I actually have an announcement on position 22, Martha Dillon. The officer has been on here. I think he's asleep. I tried to chat him to let him know he can be excused. The state's going to be dismissing that. Oh, there's officer. Okay. The state's going to be dismissing the warrant against Martha Dillon.
Okay.
Okay. So, Officer Hernandez, you can be excused, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your patience.
I just want to clear this location.
Over at the jail, the state is going to be dismissing Martha Dillon so she can be returned. Mr. Lane, that's your case.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll draw up an
Okay.
order and present it to everyone.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm clear.
Right. Make sure your face.
Are you Mr. Barge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's let me try to bring Miss
Checking on you.
let's see. I think it's Miss Crowder.
2202-4529. 4529. Right, 1136. Checking on you.
I got you.
Hopefully this works a little smoother this time. Hmm. He's still in there. Ah, boy.
Judge, I think if you close the breakout room, it'll just automatically kick her back to the main session.
That's a good idea. Yep, there we go. She's back. Okay. For the record, this is going to be position number 10. State of Georgia versus, you said his name is Edward Eugene Barge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Barge is charged in warrant number 2022 CW 50026 with committing the offense of family violence battery. I don't have the charge listed for warrant number 2022 CW 50027. Can someone help me with that?
Let me check, Judge.
You'll tell me what thus said the law. Did you get that there from your sister house? You forgot.
She couldn't even find it.
Okay, Miss Crowder, you
Yes.
can't have any crosstalk, man. Okay,
I was talking to my dad. I'm sorry.
okay. Still can't have crosstalk because we're in court. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Put the phone on. Stop talking.
now, 50027, I don't have that charge listed. I have 2022 CW 50258 with family violence battery, and warrant number 2022 CW 50259 with cruelty to children in a third degree.
That's
So-
what I have, Judge, and I see that there are a couple other numbers on here, but I just have one case. But it looks like in the system, there may be two cases.
Right, and it looks the way that they're numbered, like these two cases happen at separate times.
Yes.
Mr. Little, what are you seeing?
It looks like there's 4 warrants for him.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a warrant ending in 2627, warrant ending in 5859.
For the ones for 5.8 and 5.9, I don't have those cases. I only have the report for the 27 and 26.
Correct. I just have the one. I'm double checking now, Judge, but yeah, I just have the one for the incident on 1/1/2022.
But it looks like they're all on the calendar for today.
Right. But if you can, okay, I'm getting some information. Okay. I know we've been back and forth. If you can give me a second for me to figure this out and see if I can get what I need to get based on some information I'm getting now for us to do this, if the court can maybe take up another case while I look into this, and then the minute that I get this clarification, I can let the court know we can get this hearing done.
Okay. Let's go to Officer, it was Shinholt. Is that how I pronounce your name, sir?
Who you want, sir?
Hold on, I'm trying to find the officer, the case. Would you unmute yourself, Officer? Is it Shinholt?
Oh, she let Stanfield, sir.
What Sin, right?
Sanyan.
Sinyan.
Yes, sir.
Miss Sinyan, and I'm mispronouncing her name. Sin Young, SENN,
EN, I think.
YUN. Yes,
YUEN. Yeah, something like that.
yes. And Miss Alman, are you an officer or witness?
Judge, I'm actually a new assistant solicitor.
Yes, Judge, I'm sorry.
Okay.
She's actually taking over from Mr. Brooks. He had to go and deal with something at the jail. So Ms. Allman is new to our team. She's
Okay.
new to our team today, but she's not new to Clayton County. She has been in this office under the previous administration. So she's going to take over for him on his cases that remain on the calendar this morning.
Okay, it was good to see you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's been a long day. I believe her name is Sterling Christine Sin Young.
That's the work phone that I be calling the talk business on.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
you talking to the jail?
Yes, we need, hold on. Something.
Bless you.
Okay. The young lady's name is gonna be Miss Sin Young. We're still holding on Mr. Barge. We gotta figure something out. Mr. Crowder, if you can. I'm gonna ask you to go back into the breakout room 1. I'm sorry, ma'am.
I understand you got a lot of cases going on.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay.
Huh?
Oh, goodness.
I'm calling to verify that the apartment.
Okay,
Okay, I appreciate it.
for the record, this is gonna be position 63, State of Georgia versus Sterling Christine Sin Young. She is charged in warrant number 2022 WA 0650 with committing the offense of criminal trespass. Ms. Sin Young is unrepresented. However, she does not qualify for an appointed counsel because of her income level. So, ma'am, you're gonna have to try to navigate your way through this case here today, okay? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Is this gonna be your case, Ms. Alman?
It is, Judge.
Okay, the state of Georgia is gonna be represented by Ms. Alman. Ms. Alman, swear in your witness and present your case.
Yes, Judge. Officer Stanfield, is that correct?
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give in this matter now pending before the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Place your hand down. And Officer Stanfield, you're currently employed with the Clayton County Police, correct?
Yes, I am.
And were you employed in that capacity on April the 13th of 2022?
I was.
And on that day, did you have the occasion to come into contact with the defendant, Ms. Sen Yun?
I did.
And what was the nature of that contact?
The nature of the call was Miss Senyan was staying at the Motel 6. And then she ended up in a verbal altercation with one of the staff members. And after that, after the altercation, they called the police, wanted her to go. But before they called the police, she called herself, which I responded to. When I arrived at the hotel lobby, they asked that she be escorted out. She was at the hotel for about maybe a week or so. And when I got up there, I went up there, spoke to her, I said, hey, I understand that you've been staying here for a week or so, but the hotel now wants you to go. And they will refund you the money for the day and just so you can go. And then she said, no, she's not going anywhere. I attempted to talk to her many, many times, and I was very patient with her. I told her that I don't want to take her to jail for something like that, that it's best that she leaves. She would not want to leave. I waited almost an hour and a half to get her to leave. As I escorted her out, they wanted her to be issued a criminal trespass warning not to come back to the hotel.
Okay.
And I
so
told her.
Did you in fact issue that warning to the defendant?
I did. I told her.
Okay. And
As she was walking away from me, she told me something to that effect that she did not care or something.
okay. And so at some point, did she leave the property?
Yes, no, she did not. She went to a car that was waiting. And then one of her friends that was with her, she said, when they asked her about the money to be refunded to her, she said she didn't want the money. And her friend came to the lobby, to the counter, and got the money for her, which they did give her the money. And her friend went to the car. After about 2 minutes, I was still in the parking lot. She went back inside the lobby and said the money was not enough.
When you say she, are you talking about the friend or are you talking about the defendant?
I'm talking about Miss Senyan.
Okay.
Now she left the car, went back inside the lobby, and she said the money was not enough. And the clerk said, we gave you all the money that we had to give you. I again told her, hey, after she started an altercation again, I told her that, hey, you gotta go. About 5 or 6 times, but she ignored me the whole time. And at that time, that's when I told her like she was going to jail for criminal trespass.
Okay. And did that occur in Clayton County?
It did.
Okay. No further questions at this time, Judge.
Ms. Sinyang, do you have any questions of this officer?
I do. I'm just confused as to why they told you I stayed there a week. I was there for over a month, at least a month.
Well, you told me yourself about 2 weeks.
No, it was supposed to be a month. When she told me the amounts that I've paid, it tallied up to over a month.
Okay, but it's still be under 90 days.
Hold on. So the length of time that you're there, ma'am, is really immaterial to this charge. If you were asked to leave and you did not leave, that could form the basis of the charge. So I'm just going to ask you to stick to the core, which is whether you received word to leave and did you stay or did you leave?
I ended up leaving, but I ended up coming back because I've been having an issue with that hotel previously with them trying to take or overcharge money. And I had actually dealt with harassment with them previously. So that's why I ended up calling the police myself.
Okay. Did Officer Stanfield tell you to leave?
He did. I'm not sure which time that he told me to leave that I actually left, but I remember my friend counting the money for me as I got my bag and whatnot, and she told me that they shorted me, so that's why I went back in. They gave me additional $68, and it was supposed to be $85, and that's the reason why I had went back in.
Okay. Is there anything else, ma'am?
No, sir.
Do you have any questions for this person, Ms. Allman?
No, Judge, no further questions.
Okay. Any argument
No, Judge, we'll just submit on the evidence.
Is there anything else you want to tell me, Ms. Signon?
Yes, also during arrest, I let the officer know that I do have a gunshot wound in my shoulder and I cannot bend my arm backwards, and he proceeded to do so. And when I came in here, they ended up bandaging me up because my right arm was so swollen and bruised, as well as my left arm. And I now have a locked shoulder that I have to go get surgery for.
Okay. I'm going to find that the evidence is sufficient to bind this case over to state court of Clayton County. And I believe it would be advisable for you as soon as possible, ma'am, to try to get yourself a lawyer. Okay, Officer Stanfield, you can be released.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's see. I see that there's an investigator, Reginald Evans. What case are you here on, sir?
Our office, Judge.
I'm sorry. He works with your office?
Yes, Judge. He's our
Okay.
investigator in the office, yes.
Okay, I'm going through trying to get these people out of here. Officer Huff, which case are you on? Are you still there, Officer Huff? Okay, Officer Scott, which case are you here? Well,
I'm here.
Officer,
I'm here, sir.
Which case are you
I'm here,
here
sir.
on? Officer? I hear you. Which case are you here on?
This is Huff, Officer Huff.
Yes, sir. Which defendant are you here on?
I'm sorry. William Smith.
William Smith. Can we bring up Mr. William Smith?
William Smith.
Oh, boy. Looks like that's Mr. Suh's case.
Your Honor.
And did you still need to have a pretrial with your client?
I believe we just ask him in open court today.
I'm sorry.
I believe we can just ask him in open court today.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, my
go
name is
ahead.
Dave. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Smith, my name is David Suh. I'm the attorney that's going to be helping you with your case. Today is your preliminary hearing day. This is the day where they're going to determine if there was probable cause for you to be arrested by the officer. Would you like to proceed with today? You have the option of proceeding with the hearing or waiving the hearing and trying to move on to the next step, which would be arraignment.
See?
Can you hear and understand him, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I wanna,
That he wants to proceed, sir.
I wanna go into arraignment.
That sounds
hear
like
me?
he wants to waive.
Do you want to skip today's hearing or do you want to have today's hearing?
I wanna skip today's hearing, sir.
Okay.
Then
So-
I will submit a waiver of the preliminary hearing, Your Honor.
Okay. You can be returned back to your housing area, and Mr. Suh or someone from his office will get in contact with you. So your next step will be arraignment, okay?
Mr. Smith, please attend my request for visitations, please.
Yes,
Officer Huff, you can be excused, sir. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Officer Scott, can you hear me?
Yes,
Which case are you here on?
Cantrell Huff.
I'm sorry.
Last name Huff. Cantrell.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Little. Do you need to speak to Mr. Huff?
I would, Your Honor. That was one of the ones we got appointed to today, but I can probably make it pretty quick.
Okay. I'm going to place Mr. Little in the breakout room with the jail.
And Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Before you place Mr. Little in that breakout room, I just want to let the court and Mr. Little know, I figured out on Barge the warrant situation. So I figured out what it is. So it's the same case, but it's a battery for one type of battery in front of the child, and then the other battery that occurred on the same date in front of that same child. So it's 2 charges for 2 different types of batteries and in front of the same child. So that's why those 4 warrants are there.
Okay.
So it would also be another battery, family violence, and cruelty to children. So that's what it is, but it's the same date.
But it's like, it's alleging different actions.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let Mr. Little speak to Mr. Huff. Yes.
Okay, sir.
And then we're gonna try to get Mr. Barge